But then that means that what you need to do is figure out how to decide which information is the information that you need.
Yeah, so the skill in life, what I'm getting at is that any given piece of information is relatively not valuable.
Yeah.
And the ability to find relevant information on the spot about a very particular situation that you're in is the skill.
Right.
The ability to take a bunch of information sources and organize it in such a way that you can immediately, pretty quickly utilize it in a situation.
Right.
Which is novel. The situation is novel, meaning I can't watch a video on exactly this situation that I'm dealing with. I've got to bring some information together and utilize it to deal with this situation that I'm in.
But that has huge implications for schools.
Yes.
Schools as they are today.
Yeah.
Meaning there has to be a pretty, I would say, seismic shift in their focus,
yes,
given what you're saying. And so what does that look like?
Well, I think to put it simply, and then you can unpack it, there's an equation which is mental models equal information and organization. So the way we organize information is what creates meaning or mental models. Mental models are just the things we build in order to have meaning.
To understand stuff.
How we understand something. So the meaning that we make out of any given situation or whatever is called a mental model. And that mental model is made up of information, which we get from interacting with reality, and the way we use our brains to organize that information. That's how we make meaning.
Okay.
And believe it or not, all learning, the thing education should be based on.
The focal point.
The focal point of education should be, but is not necessarily, is simply defined as a change in mental model. So when we change our mental model, that is learning.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have mental model at time 1 and then mental model at time 2, the change between mental model here and mental model here is learning. That's what learning is.
Right. So using your push-up example, I have an idea of what I think a push-up is. That's my first mental model. Then I go and I get more information. I organize it differently. And I have a new mental model, which is the understanding of how to actually do a proper push-up. That's learning.
That's learning, right?
And that's true of anything.
That's true of anything. That's learning. Now, you know that we've been working in schools for a very long time in education. And, there are schools, I think the general public will be shocked to learn this, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
There are schools that say, when you go there, they say, we are learning-focused schools.
Yes.
And that, at first you might go, is there another kind of school other than a learning-focused school? Isn't that the point of school? Isn't that the point of education? But it's gotten so far away from the original intent of education that we now have to come up with new qualifiers to say, this school is going to be learning-focused.
Yes. Yes, but learning-focused, I know it sounds silly, but it was a response to No Child Left Behind and the emphasis on test scores. So it was a way for schools to be like, hey, by the way, we're not going to just focus on test scores.
Absolutely.
We're going to...
This is the point. That I'm not criticizing learning-focused schools. That's what all schools should be, learning-focused schools. What I'm saying is that is the fact that we have to make that distinction.
Yeah, it's wacky.
Is an indication that education has somehow gotten divorced from the very underpinning of what education is, which is learning.
Yes, I think that's a fair statement.
Learning and the preparation for essentially adulthood, the preparation for not just jobs, because we're more than jobs, but for life, for a job and for a life, and to live the best life that you can live and have the best job that you can have and all that kind of stuff and be the best person you can be.